Did the ATF just make it illegal to buy, sell, or possess airsoft smoke grenades and flashbangs? It looks like they did. At this time, CO2-powered flashbangs still appear to be legal, but anything with pyrotechnics or that burns appears to have become questionable. The ATF quietly posted on its website under special explosive device exemptions in November of 2023 that it issued an open letter rescinding special explosive device exemptions for certain consumer-style grenades, e.g. flashbang grenades and smoke grenades. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Aren't grenades regulated anyways? Well, not these. These are basically not much different than signal flares or fireworks. So we're not talking about anything that the military has. Now, as for why people have these, smoke grenades are very popular in the airsoft community. That's like paintball with very tiny plastic BBs that hurt a lot more, for those of you who aren't aware. These guys get really into it with very realistic weapons and equipment. It's called military simulation, or milsim. The smoke grenades are used, as they are in the military, as a obscurant, portable concealment. They're also used for signaling. Now, beyond wargaming, they are quite popular for gender reveal parties. They sell pink and blue smoke grenades that people use for these parties. And you can see, as I'm sure I'll put up in the background, models using them during photo shoots. In fact, the one company is even marketing orange ones for Halloween that you stick it in your jack-o'-lantern and it blows out orange smoke. Now, your standard Mark 18 military smoke grenade burns hotter and has a more dangerous pyrotechnic fuse. They're already quasi-illegal regulated, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're not going to find them on the open market, and you never really were. These airsoft grenades that we're talking about are cold burn devices. They use a low temperature to burn, some say about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and they release colored smoke through this process. Now, flashbang grenades are not like the military distraction devices that are thrown in to defuse hostage situations. These are basically firecrackers in a cardboard tube that is made up to look like it's a real grenade, but it's not. They're a lot quieter, and they don't have the same flash. They do not produce the same overpowering 170, 180 decibel shock wave that true flashbangs produce. Again, these are basically firecrackers made to look like grenades, and instead of lighting it with a lighter or a match, they have a fuse that does that. And apparently the problem is the fusing and the fires, which supposedly allows ATF to regulate them. Now, really, this is not about any fire or danger. The ATF cites some idiots who have started fires during like gender reveal parties with these smoke grenades. But what the real issue is that they're claiming, without citing examples, that these have been used against law enforcement. I dug around a little bit. I located a letter dated November 2nd, 2023, and that included the table of previously popularly exempted airsoft smoke grenades, including the popular Nola Gay brand. Basically, every airsoft smoke grenade is on the list. Now, technically, if you own one of these without a proper ATF explosive license, you're now in violation of federal law. At least that's how I read it. You can't buy these things, you can't sell these things, you probably can't even use them on an airsoft range unless you have an explosive license. You know, like you are a demolitions expert, you're putting together a fireworks show, or you're one of those weird companies that gets a license to build pipe bombs for demonstration purposes. Anyhow, the ATF banned these things based on the above-mentioned safety concerns. They determined that these explosive devices pose a risk to public safety and rescinded the exemptions. In other words, because they can be used by the public against the government, they're dangerous, and we don't want you to have them. So quite clearly, this is a politically driven decision that is affecting innocent airsofters. They don't want people engaging in any sort of military training have any fun. They want to severely hinder and limit your ability to resist a tyrannical government. Or should we be surprised that we're seeing anything else from the ATF and the Biden administration, a government that wants you dead, they want your dog dead, and if not that, then disarmed and submissive. Anyhow, if you don't want to get a license, you basically aren't going to get these things. If you have them in your possession, you may be unknowingly in violation of federal law. So if you are like yours truly, who has used up their stock, you're not getting any more. There may be some in stock in stores that you can purchase if the retailers are still selling, if they're unaware of this, which it appears like many are. And if there isn't a rush on it, just keep in mind that if you do successfully get some, the ATF can subpoena or serve warrants on the retailers, get the information who they sold them to, and then boom, potentially you have been busted committing a crime. So let's hope that you've used all those up. So this looks really bad. Don't have any confirmation from anybody at this point. This is just me looking this stuff up on the internet. Perhaps those of you in the airsoft community or in the retail community have more information regarding it, but this is absolute garbage. The ATF needs to be put out of business. This decision needs to have a lawsuit filed in a federal court to get an injunction in place and ultimately throw out this regulation because it's insane, it's stupid based on recent Supreme Court decisions. The ATF simply doesn't have authority to arbitrarily make these decisions for it. Now, I would ask you, if you'd appreciate this video and similar military survival type topics, I would invite you to look at my website, check out some of my books. I'm the author of the Suburban Defense Rural Home Defense series. It's a cop's guide to surviving riots, civil war, or SHTF. Also nuclear war, and I've got some interesting fiction that you might appreciate. So do me a solid, check out the website, maybe buy a couple bucks. Thanks.